This is nice. I like talking with my hands.
I don't have a whole lot. I kind of want to just talk about what you got excited about when doing your real research. I'll just fucking hold it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to Cover 2. I am your host, Nathan Phillips, here with my co-host, Mason Besser, and not a new studio yet, but one that we will be debuting. Real quick, will you just get up and check that I'm still in frame? Now that I'm actually sitting back, I just don't want to.
See, microphone out of the way.
Nice hands. Alrighty. Been a couple of weeks. A little bit slower of a free agency period now. We've hit that kind of sweet spot where I'm working on my voice a lot this month, so I'm trying to use different inflections. I could tell with Clark, especially the second time when we weren't drunk. And mine is still like it too, where I can tend to get into a monotone voice. And, if I talk about our pick at 24 and what I want us to do, I should really, when we look at the Cowboys pick at number 24, yeah, we need an offensive lineman. Yeah, we need line help on the defensive side. We still need to build up our secondary, but I am happy with the way that, trying to give it a little bit of a personality. So
sports radio kind of.
Right. I'm having to fuck with this arm, guys. So if that looks a little wacky, then you know what? It is what it is. We've upgraded this. We're going to be in a totally new room here in about 2 weeks when we have our NFL draft watch party live on YouTube. Mark your calendars now for Thursday, April 28th at 5 p.m. We are live. Our first episode of Cover 2 live. What do you think about that, Mason?
It can't get taken down if it's live.
Not immediately. It can't
Not
after
immediately.
the fact. I don't think we'll get taken down. I don't think so.
No, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We'll definitely have to crack into the trivia bag and personal opinions bag and our cancelable takes, sports-wise or otherwise.
I'm really going to draft guide it up and learn the most I can, at least about the top 50 prospects, at least the top 50 for that first round. Because there might be a couple, this guy we thought was going to go in day 2, and now he's going number 24, and it might be a reach or, all the crazy stuff that happens on draft night. We're going to start really prepared. It's going to be fun more than anything. We're just going to be hanging out, having a good time, eating some pizza, drinking some mojitos. But we will be following the draft and analyzing each pick, and it's going to be 3 hours, though. So we're going to have to entertain ourselves and hopefully the audience somehow. So we've got some fun things working in the books, in the noggin up here that we are working out, but it's going to be fun. So Thursday, April 28th, night 1 of the draft, first round. Don't listen to the broadcast. Those guys suck. They just talk for 15 minutes about the same thing. Listen to us. Come on. We're going to talk Chris. We're going to talk Chris Rock. We're going to talk Will Smith. We're talk a little, B-Lo? A little B-Lo? Ben Affleck? J-Lo getting engaged?
We're going to talk adoption rights. We're going to talk about
the
a lot.
Kardashians TV show premieres this Thursday on Hulu. Hope everyone's tuning into that. That's going to be fantastic. You can catch me on my couch every Thursday night watching that. But it will be heavily draft-centric too, as well as just an absolute goddamn good time. So let's just kind of set ourselves up for what we're expecting. Man, the P and the K and the T are just so much more
crisp
there.
Yeah.
With this mic. Okay. I guess, is there any headline grabby type thing that you're excited about, that you're looking forward to?
What I'm looking forward to is where the first quarterback goes. For me personally, I mean, Detroit is probably in the running. They'll probably take the first quarterback, or do they?
You think so?
I don't know. Or do they keep building? I mean, what are you doing with Jared Goff? Do you want to play another season and try to get in a better quarterback class? Are you okay taking an edge rusher here, building your offensive line, building the defense? The Lions have pieces, so I think it's going to be interesting where we see the first quarterback selected, because it's not a strong quarterback class. People different teams and different people like their guys, but this isn't a consensus strong draft.
I have the same opinion. My first thing here is quarterbacks, quarterbacks, quarterbacks. That's what every draft is about. This one is almost more interesting because it doesn't have the Joe Burrow or the Trevor Lawrence or whatever. These top guys that are guaranteed top 5, top, let alone the number 1 pick. This year we're dealing with a Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, Sam Howell. Desmond Ritter is the one that now is getting all the buzz, like the late buzz. I guess he's been killing it in these interviews with teams over the last month. So the Lions, I think it sounds like from what I've read that just recently they're starting to fall in love with Malik Willis, and Dan Campbell met with him and he loves what he's made of. Like, I mean, he does kind of seem like a Dan Campbell guy too, that Dan would just get way behind. And I was listening to someone today on a pod. They were saying, what teams do you think are 1 pick away from the Super Bowl? And this lady threw the Lions out there half jokingly, but also just like they play so hard for Dan Campbell. They are building. We do like DeAndre Swift. We do like their offensive line that they're building up. They have, I can't remember the D lineman, but even Amon-Ra St. Brown was a wide receiver. Like, They I think are at least building a culture that if they can get a quarterback, they'll be really quick. So will they reach for Malik Willis at number 2? I don't know. That could just be a smokescreen to try to get a team who wants him. Maybe the Panthers at 6 to come up to number 2 and take him. Give them maybe an extra first or an extra second, kind of build more capital as the Lions are just trying to rebuild a roster that is being completely overhauled. But after that, I do have some teams here. These are the teams who I kind of think are going to be at least thinking about it. So then give me whether you think they should, whether they shouldn't, or whether you think they will or not. After the Lions, it's the Panthers at number 6.
Oh, yeah. It's time to move on, or at least have some competition.
So do you think at number 6, or do you think you just wait another year for maybe a better class? That's going to be the question with the Steelers and the Seahawks. It's like, yeah you kind of need a quarterback, or you'd like to get your future quarterback in the building, but are you gonna pull an EJ Manuel?
I think Carolina could.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't.
Are there any of the quarterbacks you are in on? I'm kind of in on Malik, and I could be wrong, but
I've only seen good things about him. Interviews, like locker room, how he plays hard. I've seen all that about him that I like, and I've seen he has a big arm, and I mean, he looks good, but I don't have any quarterbacks I love this class, you know?
Yeah. I think they are going to take one. I think they are going to take one, especially Matt Rule's going to want.
He needs that. Hey, give me at least 3 seasons. Come on, I just drafted the guy.
Yeah, but if they draft a guy and it's his quarterback he drafts, and then they figure out like in year 1, oh God, this isn't it, then that could be a yank. Where maybe if he can say, I just don't like this class, guys. Can you just give me this year to build a roster again, and then give me next year's draft to maybe get my guy? I don't know. We also have some other. I mean, you might want to always wait too, because it seems like every year now we have a Deshaun Watson, a Kyler Murray type of situation happening, where now there's quarterbacks available on the trade market, like prime elite quarterbacks that maybe you don't have to reach as much. After the Panthers, I have the Seahawks at number 9.
Ooh, I hope they don't. It's a Seattle move to do it, like a Pete Carroll, Matt Rule thing, where Pete's like, hey, give me a chance to build the culture with this guy. I'm going to have a quarterback on a rookie deal again. Give me some time here. I can build this again. I don't think they should. I think you just take the best corner you possibly can at 9.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just build your defense, and then if there's any team that should wait for next year, it's Seattle. Just take that number 9 overall pick and give it to the best corner you have, or a linebacker, whatever you want to do. If there's someone you like there at 9 on the defensive side of the ball, I say go for it. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a Seattle fan. I don't really know.
The Commanders at 11. Do you consider getting your future in the building behind Carson, or do you just try to get Carson another weapon, and you kind of have to go?
You traded for him. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I say give him at least a season, and if he stinks it up, which is entirely possible, then next season you're like, okay, we got a top 12, 10 pick. Carson didn't work out. We can move on.
Does the Saints trading with the Eagles to get a second first-round pick, they now have the 16th pick. Sorry, my voice is all crazy. And the 19th pick, 16 and 19. Does that mean they want to use one of those on a quarterback?
I don't. I don't know. I don't know. They'd be hoping that someone's there in like the 16, 15 range. I mean, who is that though? Is that Riddler? Is that
It's maybe Ritter. It's
Corral?
maybe Pickett.
I don't think you. I don't
It's a
like
reach
it.
if you go Matt Corral. I guess Matt Corral's the guy who you maybe like the physical traits that you want to stick behind. And God forbid you. Do you want someone learning from Jameis? I don't really know. Got a great game in Minnesota, by the way, in this play-in game. Nets took care of business in the first game against Cleveland, which we expected. So now we have a Nets-Celtics first-round matchup in what will be the best series by far of the first round.
That's juicy.
Yeah, it should be really good. 82-75 going into the fourth. Okay, the only other two I have the Steelers at number 20. Rumors are it sounds like if one falls that they've set up a lot of visits. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I still think that's only if maybe Pickett or Malik falls to them. I don't see them trading up. They're not very much a trade up team. They did it a couple of years ago for Devin Bush, and that didn't work out very well. I think they traded 3 picks to go up, not 3 first, but just 3 picks to go up there and get him. Yeah, so I don't really see them taking anybody other than Pickett or Malik too.
I don't think they should take a quarterback. Let take a tackle. Build your team.
Yeah.
Wait till next year. Let
Yeah.
Mitch do his thing.
Yeah. Boost
At
the old
20,
line. They signed a couple guys that can start, but no one anyone is like.
just yeah.
It's not like there's not question marks now. And
There's one hole on that line that you can draft a guy that's gonna be there at 20 that you really like. And there's a lot of interior linemen in this draft and a lot in that first round that can go.
yeah, and I think that because we have these quarterbacks who teams, I think once they see them fall out of the top 10, they're going to be more likely to want to just jump up and snag them because now they only have to give up maybe an extra second round pick or something like that. So when you have the Malik, Kenny, Pickett, and then maybe like Matt Corral, Sam Howell going in the middle of the first, as well as the influx of receivers we're going to see go after those initial linemen go and a couple elite D linemen in the top 6 or 7, that's going to leave a lot of those interior linemen and then upper echelon edge prospects. They're going to be falling into the 20 range right into our laps, hopefully. The only other team I have on here are the Tennessee Titans at number 26. And this isn't to draft, obviously, someone to replace Ryan Tannehill, but to get someone in the building. Tannehill's a good guy for him to sit behind. After the interception, the 3 interception game we saw against the Bengals, I don't think any of us are loving Ryan Tannehill. He's fine. He's a good quarterback to have, especially on a good team. He's a better Kirk. He's a more safe Kirk Cousins, I guess, but that's the tier I would put him in. He's a little more mobile and not as Kirky as Kirk is. But
I think you just take your best player available.
Yeah.
You're going to bring a guy in, sure, but that first round pick could be spent on something that pushes you over the hump.
Right.
I mean, they had the 1 seed without Derrick Henry. I mean, if it's running back insurance at 26, I don't love first round running backs anymore, believe me, but maybe there's a guy you like, maybe there's someone on the safety you want to bolster your defense, make your defense a little better, but I see the 26th pick as we won some games. Tannehill can win us games. He's not the answer, and I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl with him. Don't get that wrong, but I think you take a corner, a wide receiver. I mean, whoever's there at 26 who you like.
Any other hot headline type grabbing things? Do you have any players that you have your eye on in terms of maybe guys that are falling or guys that you are in love with? Or
I like I think it's Derek Stingley from LSU. He's got the knee thing.
He's the number one. But it was like the Frank injury too, which is a weird one. He's got a weird story. He had 6 interceptions on that 2019 team that won it all. Yeah. And then his tape since then has not been great. But he has like these physical, and then now the injury. But before the injury, he was, I guess, like penciled in as a top 10 pick. Yeah. And his physical traits at his pro day, he just ran sub 4.4. It was like 4.37, I think. It's like a slippery slope now. Some people are saying he's going to slide out of that top 10.
I hope so.
And not
Derwin
be-
did it.
Oh my God! I mean, I can't see him going further than like 14.
The Eagles will take him before we can
right?
get him.
Yeah, yeah. You guys are where? 17?
17.
17.
Well, Philadelphia. Wait, New Orleans jumped ahead of us.
Oh, right,
It
so
was.
they
I
have
thought it was
16.
Philadelphia at 16. No, it's New Orleans.
Yeah.
They could easily take him. At 16, if you're New Orleans, and you have 19 as well.
When we get into the teens, it's going to be outrageous. So we're going to see someone, if anything, trade up and come snag him because he could be an elite
Derwin had
lockdown.
ACL
he has
problems
Marshawn
in
Lattimore traits.
college. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love him, and that's why I mentioned him here too, is because of the knee and because he very well could fall.
I guess he just cleared all medical checks too.
Yeah. You
by a
can.
doctor.
Frank Gore tore his ACL twice in college, or 2 or 3 times, and had a very productive career. And he's a running back, cutting.
The one that I have that's pretty fun to see how it's going for him pre-draft, leading up with all the rumors now, and trying to figure out what to smoke screen or not, is Kayvon Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
He could be the number 1 pick, or now I'm reading he could slide out of the top 10 because people are seeing
That's insane.
they're seeing a variance of consistency on his film. They think he's kind of an eye guy. He gives this quote that it's ridiculous. I'm not seen as the best player in the draft. Does that make you kind of turn off, or does that make you want to like, this guy's a dog and like I want this guy? I think
He won't make it out of the top 7.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be a point again where it's too far, but we see these things on draft day where it's just like, oh, they didn't take him. Oh, they didn't take him. Oh, now we're at pick 9. Oh, this guy's still there at 12, and then someone will eventually do it. But yeah, no, he's an interesting one. All of the wide receivers too. I haven't done as much of my digging into each of them as I want to yet. But Daniel Jeremiah is my favorite guy. Him and Bucky Brooks to follow during draft stuff. I think they're just awesome. 17 of the last 32 all-pro wide receivers have gone outside of the first round. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys go. It's so much of what just a team likes. Do they like Drake London from USC with the big body, or do they like a Chris Olave type, or do they like the
Jameson Williams
type? Like how Henry Ruggs went before CD and Judy, and you're kind of like, what? And now that's a bad pick for a different reason. But I think it's going to be fun to see that run of receivers go in like the teens too, because there also doesn't seem to be like that clear cut 1 or 2 guys. You could find 6 different analysts that have 5 different guys as their favorites. I've seen the Arkansas guy, his name's slipping my head. Some people have him going like number 8, and then some people have him going at the top of the second round. So that's why I think it's interesting to read that 17 of the last 32 all pros have gone outside of the first round, because maybe you get a T. Higgins.
Yeah, and that's where I think Green Bay needs to shine, is that late first round or second round ish territory, because Green Bay's got to do something this draft.
Yeah, Packers and Chiefs both have 2 first and second round picks, I'm pretty sure. So that is pretty interesting in terms of teams, and that'll be something that I think we can talk about at the beginning of the round is which of these teams picking are picking players who could contribute to what we think is a Super Bowl contender team. Like, who's going to be a rookie wide receiver on a Chiefs that all of a sudden in December we're saying is the reason this offense is picked up right where it left off without Tyreek, and now we're looking at them being a Justin Jefferson type impact receiver on a Super Bowl contender. It's fun to see these number 1 and 2 seeds have like 4 picks in the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think Green Bay's going to be fun. For some reason I get a lot of like Packers stuff on my Twitter because I interact with it because I like the Packers too. I don't have a problem with them. And the podcast guys going back and forth. Do we take back-to-back receivers? Do we trade back? Do we trade up? And I think the Packers have a very fun and interesting draft night ahead of them.
Yeah, I wonder how much A-Rod is going to have a say.
I don't know. I mean, he didn't have a say when they drafted Jordan Love.
Yeah, I would like to think that they, not a say on who they're going to pick, but if you're targeting a wide receiver, you'd think you would.
Hey, which one do you want the fast guy? Do you
Right.
want size? Do
Right.
you want route running? Do you just want to be able to throw it down to him and he can just jump over a guy?
Right.
You'd hope if they go, hey, Aaron, we're looking at receivers. How do you want to go about this? What do you think is gonna? Who can we bring in that's gonna mesh with the offense and pick up where we left off? It's like the Chiefs. You got to find someone who you can
Exactly.
take that production right away. It's gonna be different. You're gonna have to rely on other guys, but they just lost Valdez-Scantling too, right?
Yep.
To the Chiefs. So I mean, they're
Yeah, it's
Their
tough
receiving
too because
room
like
is gonna be brand new.
their D line now losing Zadarius Smith too is a disaster. I mean, they didn't have him all throughout a lot of the year last year, but there's a couple spots that they need addressing. But it's going to be hard to resist. At least I think spending 2 of those picks on some type of weapon.
yeah, a good receiving duo. I don't know. I mean,
But I'm excited. I'm really excited to see after these 4 kind of elite linemen in the top 10, and then you'd have to think one of these quarterbacks is going to end up going top 10.
yeah,
If not, then you all of a sudden see 2, maybe 3 going in that mid-teens, and like I said, that influx of receivers. Now we're going to see a couple of linebackers. I saw, what is it, Nakobe Dean from Georgia going. He was mocked. Peter Schrager had him. I love Peter Schrager too. Had him mocked 26 to Tennessee, and it's like you have all these scouts saying he's an alpha among alphas on a Georgia defense filled with future NFL players, future Pro Bowlers, future All-Pro, and he was the alpha of all alphas. But because some of his measurables don't fit the now standard of a linebacker, that's one guy who's projected to go mid to late 20s right now that I think we're going to be going, why did this guy go 26? Like
Yeah.
TJ Watt going 27 or 28 or whatever he went. He's one, and that's what I want you to do too for that first round pick. Some guys who you think are just being slept on big time, and which guys not so much that you think are overrated. That'll probably have to be a live kind of reaction. Like, let's make our own big board. Let's make our own big board of the top 40 guys who we like.
let me just kind of cross them off. and
That
watch
way
guys
when we
fall.
see someone the Panthers reach at 6, we can go, I don't know about that.
He was right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna take Sam Howell at number 6 or something like that. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited though. I'm excited for you guys to see our new little setup downstairs. It'll be a little better than being stuck up here in a room. I'm not gonna have to hold this mic in my face the whole time.
couple of chairs, a nice little table,
Nice
some
little
decor.
flag, blanket, jersey set up, a whole bunch of Philhitos that night. It's gonna be a banger of a night. I'm officially, even though the playoffs are starting for the NBA, so it's kind of hard to juggle both of those in terms of what I'm getting excited for. But man, dude, no one does the draft like the NFL does. No one does the draft. And over these next 2 weeks, we're going to hear a lot of rumors. All of a sudden, we're going to be going into draft night thinking there's going to be 3 quarterbacks going in the top 10, and it's going to be hopefully we get a Laramie Tunsil, who had the bong gravity mask shit on his
I hope
face.
Stingley has a gas mask
Oh
bong.
my god, that would be so funny. I hope it's Kenny Pickett. That would be hilarious. Okay, well, short one this week, guys. We just want to let you know, get you a little
check-in.
excited, what we're excited for the draft. To let you know that we, again, will be live Thursday, April 28th for the first round. Good to be back.
Yep, it is good to be back.
Good to be back.
I'm very excited for the draft. I'm pumped. As we talk about it, it just becomes more real and real. And
All right, guys. We love you all. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
all right,
Peace.
go boys.